I had silver certificates pop out of an ATM one time, but it didn't have any signatures on it.
Oh, fantastic. Well, there's another one.
Oh, you got more than one of these?
I've got some more of them.
Silver certificate of an ATM.
You still got that dollar. There you go.
Geez, you got money coming out of everything. Right underneath the chair. Watch out, he's a magician. He'll substitute.
Are you going to have him sign one for you?
Oh, yeah.
What year is that?
Now, does he have to?
1883.
He doesn't drink, you know.
1883 was a good year.
You didn't ask him, how do you get this?
Can you hold
How do
it
you
up,
get this?
Basil? There you go. Super. Thank you.
That's the one
Is it a
that kept
Morgan?
me from getting wounded.
Is there a mark in it that you can see?
Or even a little bent or anything?
Slightly.
Well, I was
Yeah,
talking to the
there's a
kid
little-
from
little
Collins,
divot
and I
in it.
cannot remember
Right
his
down
name,
here.
and he took out his
That's
tune and I
it.
said, you know, I have a $2 bill at
Right on,
home,
you can
this
see
would
it.
be absolutely perfect
Right there.
to do the same thing, and I want to start with you two.
You can't see that? No. It's right there.
Put it on the table next to the silver certificate.
I don't know, I think that's part of the bird.
Made it back.
Oh, there's a divot there.
Yeah, where's the mark on it?
You can see it. It's right there.
Oh, yeah.
They're just not on the table.
So you don't have to take a drink after you sign this, is that right? Because you don't drink.
I don't drink.
So,
Well, neither do I. Would you like to sign it too? That'd be great.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to sign.
I guess you don't get to keep it though after.
The best story I heard though was a guy that everybody was comparing their short snorters who had the most signatures, who had the highest ranking person on it, and this guy happened to work at Schaefer. So he whips out his, and the people who are signed on it are Eisenhower, Patton, Bradley, Montgomery, Churchill. It's like, I win.
Boy, I guess I.
He never had to buy a drink
These
ever.
figures shown on here, these guys are all second lieutenants.
But the kid, what Colleen showed me his, I'm like, oh, that is such a marvelous idea. I have to do that. I know I have a $2 bill.
Can I get my picture
I
taken
have to
with
find it,
Basil?
and I found it. Let's go back to work.
Move all of it.
Can you say? Yes, I would love one.
$2 bill? Yes.
Okay.
Was the guy, just one of the kids, the younger guys.
I keep telling you, drink more water. What keeps you afloat?
Ready? I'm going to shake his hand. Okay.
Even if you try to sell them, people are like, what is this? I
One of them
think so,
ought to turn
pal.
out.
You need
Thank you.
real money.
There's the one
Sentimental
down at-
journey.
down
Oh,
at
okay.
Phoenix.
Yeah. I've been down to Tucson, but I haven't stopped at the Phoenix one.
Okay, there's a book by that name.
You're in God's hands now?
This is, I just got the book. This is just a short version of it. But about this, see, the 5th of December,
Yeah.
it's just Charlie Brown was the American pilot, and he,
Say, Basil, do you know Bob Clemens? Basil Hackleman? He was a
Bob Clemens.
B-17 pilot in
okay.
England. He was going to show me some of his stuff. He's got a pilot's log from all those missions. How many did you have? 30?
30.
Yeah.
And here's one of those clippings that
Oh yeah, this is from Stars and Stripes, or. And this was one of your missions?
yeah.
Continued on page 4.
Yeah.
Well, you ought to put that in some plastic or something to protect it.
Were you in the 100th?
91st.
91st.
There's a
Oh, yeah.
blow up of that picture. There's my
Yeah.
goggles back here.
Uh-huh.
2 bullet holes through that windshield.
Man, you are one lucky guy.
Yes, sir.
When were you there?
I got over there in November of 1943. And I finished, made my last mission 29th of April of 44. Just shut that so stuff don't blow.
Yeah. Was this something that looks like it's just part of a comb or something,
Part
maybe?
of the plastic that fell
Yeah.
off there. The original logbook, class of 43D. And
Wow. It's got all your missions in there too.
all of my military.
So when you were in training, you would log your flights in this?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to advance?
Blytheville, Arkansas.
Twin
Here.
engine?
PT-17, October 23rd,
That was the first plane?
1942.
That was your first airplane then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the PT was that was the kind of open cockpit, and you're up there in the, you need goggles for that plane.
Let's see. There's my graduated cadet school down at Blytheville, Arkansas. This is the last flight down there.
So this is the end of your advanced training?
Yeah, that's when I become a lieutenant.
Yeah.
And then here's where I started flying B-17s. May the 4th,
Yeah.
Auburn, Ohio.
So you started off in the E and then went to the F, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, we had more, the old E's were, each one of them, including the link trainer time. There's where we went, Memphis.
Well, this has got the whole thing in it.
Did you get a G before you finished your missions?
Pardon?
Did you get a B-17G before you finished your
Gee,
missions?
909 out here. Yeah. Well, now here.
You want us in there?
Well, I didn't know you weren't up there already, because when I looked, I saw that you were gone, so I
Oh, good.
December 11th, Emden, Germany. December 16th, Bremen, Germany.
Oh, yeah.
December 20th, Bremen.
Okay.
Ludwigshafen,
As far as I'm concerned,
France.
the phone call I got.
Cognac, France.
That's France. There was
Oscar Lieben.
Oschersleben.
Oschersleben. Yeah.
Yeah. January the 11th, 44.
Yeah.
What was the one that you lost the 2 engines to flak, and then you lost 3, and then you ended up in England? You remember which flight that one was?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one.
It probably you have something in here on it, I suppose.
I saw that one on YouTube, you talking about that flight. You put it on the beach and then it was low tide. And the tide came in.
And it went away.
Well, so where is it, out in the middle of the English Channel today, or did they
Well,
recover the thing?
Oh, there's a lot of them out there in the channel.
Yeah, I suppose.
But this one was our airplane. And it's out in the middle of the channel. I didn't put it there, but it's out there.
Huh.
Another crew of it. I even marked down over here where we went and the name of the town. Made a little comment about Milk Run. That's where we didn't have much opposition. It didn't happen very often,
Yeah.
but it did happen a few times. Then here's
Berlin.
Berlin.
What does it say about the fighters? Several.
Several fighters.
I'll bet.
This one up here on the 11th of January, we estimated, the group estimated 500 German fighters up that day attacked us.
Good grief.
And, you know, at times the sky was almost black up there, and they weren't friendly.
Yeah. Well, 500 airplanes flying at the same time, all trying to shoot you down, that's pretty intimidating.
They weren't all up there at the same time. They'd come up in relays.
Yeah.
They'd come up and fight us on the way in, and then they had time to land, refuel, rearm, and come back up and fight us again on the way out.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did double duty there sometimes.
Oh yeah, raided Berlin. Munich, wow, you went all over Germany. Mean flak, yeah.
Berlin, Calais. This was in France. Reims.
Oh yeah, that's near, sort of north of Paris there somewhere.
Near Brussels. The only thing I don't have in this logbook was the flight over. For some reason, I didn't Stettin, Germany. That's on the border of Poland.
That was a long one.
Yeah.
How many hours was that? 11?
11 hours and 20 minutes.
Wow, that's a long.
Over 1,600 miles.
Was that your longest
Yeah.
mission?
Everyone to Schweinfurt.
Oh yeah. So was that later? You went back to Schweinfurt more than once, or was that
No, I only went once.
So that's the, yeah,
April the 13th.
of 44. Okay.
I wasn't over there when they made the first one on Schweinfurt.
Well, those are all famous. You know, all of the Schweinfurt raids, including the second and the third.
But I made this is the second one.
Yeah. Well, so the second one wasn't quite as many losses as that first one, with almost 60 or something, I guess, on the first raid was.
As it went on, we conquered more of the airspace over it. In other words, they didn't have their fighters to put up. They didn't have opposition to put up.
Yeah.
You had to contend with a lot of anti-aircraft fire, even more. But they didn't have the fighters. For another reason, we worked on their ball bearing factories. And so all German engines run on ball bearings. So if you could limit their supply of ball bearings, why airplanes sitting around without ball bearings wasn't much good. And same way with their oil refineries. We could stop them from making fuel, and they're sitting around out there with empty tanks.
Were some of the targets you did oil refineries, or did you?
Yeah.
You did. Oh.
Schweinfurt, for instance, was the oil refinery.
So they had ball bearing factories and plants, and also oil there, or?
You know, they had little oil refineries everywhere.
Like synthetic oil. Yeah.
After we bombed out their big oil refineries, then they had little ones. They still made ball bearings, but they didn't. The little ones didn't produce a big amount of ball bearings.
Yeah. Yeah. So they disperse it or something, I suppose.
It's like into their jet engines. Hitler wanted to funnel everything into their ground crew, their tanks and that kind of stuff. So they didn't allocate a whole lot of good metal to building jet engines. So on the turbines in a jet engine, they weren't made out of pretty good stuff. They didn't last long.
Right,
So that was the problem with the German jet engines. They're made out of inferior metals, and just like anything the Americans made. You make it out of cheap metal, it's
Falls
It'll be
apart.
a cheap product.
Did you ever bomb like a V1 or V2 site, one of those like the buzz bombs, and then they had a one that was a real fast rocket that they shot in London?
Here,
Oh,
if I remember right.
AVOIR, Au revoir, France? Au revoir, I'm not sure.
That wasn't along the coast. No, whenever bombing along the coast, tried to soften up for the invasion. They did a lot of that with B-26s and short-range bombers.
Right, yeah,
They left us to go all the way.
yeah. Well, you were going all the way to Poland there practically, or was you said Posen? Where's Posen? Is
Poznan, Poland.
Poland? Okay.
There's a ball bearing factory there.
Yeah.
We had pretty good luck that day.
Yeah, you were keeping track of the fighters and how bad the flak was, and
You just made a little comment over here.
yeah. Some days the fighters were bad, and some days the flaks was the worst.
Well, let's see, we shot down a lot of their fighters. They didn't have many. So if you were in a lucky place, they fight somebody out there ahead of you or somebody behind us. They passed us up. And another thing, if they come up to a group that's flying real good formation, and they went along, they tried to find somebody that was all scattered out. If you had 18 ships in a tight formation, that's a lot of firepower right out there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're all scattered out, well, you know, there's holes in your defense.
Mm-hmm. So you had to focus on the tight formation to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The safety in numbers, that was.
Yeah.
That's after I came back and was instructing.
Oh, okay. Did you instruct other B-17 pilots?
Yeah.
Oh.
That
So this is the first pilot log, and that's your beginnings all the way through this end of the Second World War, and then a little training. Was the training during the war, or did you do that after?
Yeah, I was out flying for TWA before the war ended.
Oh. Huh. Really? So you got like a job as a commercial pilot, you mean?
Yeah, then yeah.
And the war is still going on.
I was flying for TWA before the end of the war, yeah.
Yeah. And then what does combat refer to? That's the name of a...
Okay, no, this is the log that the Air Force, the Air Corps kept.
Yeah.
But they didn't name the just a B-17G or B-17F.
So you would write in part of the log, and they would write in part of the log. Is that?
Well, they kept the logbook.
Okay.
But I could get it was accessible. I could get it and write my own comments in.
Yeah.
But this is their figures.
Oh, okay. And who would write this? Somebody when you got back from a mission or something?
Oh, probably a corporal somewhere.
Certified true and correct.
Okay, here's Sergeant Scott.
Yeah, okay. So he's the guy who did he write most of these in here?
He put all this in here. That's his writing.
Yeah.
He didn't say where we went. It's just a date up there.
Yeah. And then your comments were in a separate section of the log, where you would write in, like, how much flak and everything. Okay. Yeah. I never realized that. That explains why there's two sets of handwriting in these things.
Yeah. Part of it's mine and part of it was Sergeant Scott's.
Mm-hmm.
Kept the log.
And this is this the times? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Duration of flight.
Duration of flight. Whether it's instruments, instruction, formation flying, or navigation flight.
And you were teaching them at night. Is Link the Link trainer, or does that mean something else?
That's an instrument trainer, but it's sitting on a stand in the hangar back there someplace.
Yeah.
A simulator. Nowadays they call them.
Mechanical version of the thing they have now, which is electronics.
The Link trainer, for instance, is connected to a little wheel that tracks on a map over here on the desk somewhere. And you have a picture of it up there on the front of the panel. And it flies just like a regular airplane. You have rudders in it, you have the stick or wheel, and you fly an altitude and you follow that course, and at the same time you're following that course, that little wheel out there is showing a track of where you went.
That's pretty good for, yeah. Huh.
Well, that's all you had in those days was instrument flying was pretty primitive.
How'd you go right from high school, signed up, and then right into become a pilot?
Well, I got out of high school in the spring. I grew up on a farm down in southeastern Kansas, and made the harvest that year, wheat harvest, wheat, grain and stuff. And in the fall, wasn't much for farm boys to do down there in that country, so the 4 of us signed up. And I spent the first year in the 24th Ordnance Company out of Fort Riley, Kansas, wandering around in the sleeping in the mud and whatnot in the rain. And then finally, after the Japs attacked Pearl Harbor, they lowered the qualifications to either had 2 years of college or the equivalent. There was 90 of us went across over to Marshall Field and took a 6-hour test. I was one of the 6 that passed it. So instantly we had 2 years of college. So I was eligible to go into the Air Corps then and learn to fly.
Did you say only 6 people out of 90 passed the test? Oh, well, that's a pretty tough test. And it was 6 hours long to get the pass this.
6 hours written test. Yep.
Wow. Huh. Did you do one of those college training detachment periods, or just bypass all that in your training?
Didn't do any of that.
Yeah. Well, that was
There's a blow up of a picture I carry around in my wallet. This is up on the nose of the airplane, taking a picture of the windshield. And that's my goggles back here. So, and here's a bullet hole that went between my arm and my body here. Well, this one up here went over my shoulder.
You feel it? I mean, did it actually break the skin, or?
It didn't break the skin, no. It tore holes in my jacket.
Oh, you got more flight records. That's from after, when you were doing the commercial flying.
Here's the
That looks old.
Yeah.
What is this?
Army's. There's my training all the way through in the Army.
Wow.
This is the record that they kept.
Wow.
I'm not supposed to have this.
How did you get this? Or can you tell? Maybe you can't tell that story.
I don't know. I just opened up the briefcase one time.
There it was.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think too many people have the record that they kept on them that the Army Air Forces did. So what kind of stuff did they keep track of? Like where you were and your height and weight?
Well, that, for instance, here's your name, first lieutenant. Let's see, Army Air Base, Ardmore, Oklahoma, 222nd Squadron. Pilot, 29th April 43. This was April of 45. And you flew whatever month this was. Whoop.
Oh yeah, it's got B-17F there.
And what, April of 45, okay. 4th, 6th, 9th, 10th, 11th. And the hours that I flew. And I don't know what that is. But it was signed off by the first lieutenant at Ardmore.
So this was probably the basis of your points and everything.
Yeah.
To get out.
Yeah, that's when I went overseas. Now that was combat missions. Their record of it.
Wow.
June. This is not combat, this is training.
Well, they kept pretty good records then on everybody.
Yeah.
So B-17 would be a trainer, I assume. Is that what that would mean?
Well,
when they say TB-17?
Come before this one.
Okay.
This one, this is the first model that had the chin turret.
Yeah.
The E and F models didn't have chin turrets.
Yeah.
I don't know how that got in there, but that was a check ride with the FAA in what kind of an airplane? A Beechcraft B-58.
Yeah.
Pressurized.
Oh, huh.
Turbocharged engines.
Disposition.
Instructor.
Contusion of the left middle finger. You must have had bumped it.
I had a broken finger playing volleyball.
Yeah, that can be a dangerous sport sometimes, I suppose.
Yeah, you got your finger in the wrong place.
Hey, Ray. Basil, I'd like you to meet, this is Ray Przinski. He was a B-17 tail gunner. And you're meeting all the local guys here today. He was a pilot, B-17 pilot. He piloted this 909, you know, the one that, well, it was the original 909. This is a paint job, isn't it, of the...
You know, when you took those pictures at the get-together at the Sheraton Northwest,
yeah.
I wish you'd have had a camera, or they would have had a camera, someone, and made a sweep of the whole group.
Yeah, yeah.
Rather than 3 pictures, I think they took.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been good, I think. Ray's an old singer. He sang God Bless America at our last air show.
Oh, did I get a beautiful applause. Yeah.
There's a picture of England.
Oh, okay.
Here's the guy, Golf Smith. He's writing a book on the history of 909. I've sent him a lot of pictures and information on it. But here's where, let's see, somewhere, up in here, close to Ipswich is where Bassingbourn was.
Okay. And where did you land on the beach? Was that along here, East Anglia, or?
Down in here somewhere.
By Dover?
somewhere down in there.
Yeah.
I never could quite locate it, but it wasn't maybe 40, 50 miles across the channel down there.
Yeah. Ray, where were you stationed at in England?
Sudbury,
Sudbury, okay.
Sudbury, Suffolk.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask you, were you in the 1st or the 3rd Air Division?
1st Division.
1st? We were in the 3rd. And the 2nd was 24th.
Yeah. Well, he was with the 91st, which was really early. I think that's what the first of the 3 bomb groups that first went over. What do you got there? This is Journal of the House.
This is honor.
Okay.
The House of Representatives of the state of Missouri called me up to Jefferson City and presented me to the House of Representatives.
Okay.
As a special recognition.
Do you come to our meetings at the KC Hall in Bloomington, the 8th Air Force Historical Society?
No, he's from Missouri. He's just up for 2 days. He drove up here. So the state of Missouri kind of recognized you with a day?
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice.
The only thing I hate about Missouri was Jefferson Barracks, where I went.
Okay. I know where St. Louis.
Oh, just outside St. Louis.